If you're not landing on a yes or a no from your potential client at the end of your sales conversation, you've likely not done your due diligence to get a solid answer. Solid answer is better than a flaky one. No one has time for a bunch of follow-up emails or a bunch of non-committal maybes. Especially you. You've got to put your time and energy into things that are going to produce work for your web design business. So this is how to have a better sales conversation with your potential clients as a web designer. Hey friends, welcome to Creative X. My name is Brad Hussey and I'm a professional web designer. If you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe, hit that notification bell so you can stay up to date on all of our latest videos on the art, business, and craft of web design. If you missed part 1 and 2 of this video series on how to land high-paying projects like the $10,000 one-page website project that I recently landed and completed, stop watching this one, click the cards on the screen somewhere, wherever it is, I think it's there, and watch part 1 and 2, and then come right back here. You need to watch part 1 and 2 to fully understand and come through at the end of this with the skills to land a high-paying project. So go watch that now and come right back. The links are also in the description too. So in this third and final video, I'm gonna talk about how to have better sales conversations and how to strap in and do some work. It's all about under-promising and over-delivering, leaving the client happy and producing your best work. This ensures you'll get more work like this from either that client or other people that they know. So let's get into it. So now we're at the sales conversation. So I've conducted hundreds of these at this point. I've suffered through a lot of these conversations. Probably some of you I've been on these sales conversations with. So I'm not saying I suffered through it because I don't like talking to people. It's just they are sometimes very humiliating, embarrassing, awkward, strange, stressful. The more I did it, the more I realized I don't have to be a salesperson. I don't have to be something I'm not. With all of these calls, what I've realized is I'm kind of soft. I'm too soft and empathetic to be a pushy, cutthroat salesperson. So I've probably lost more deals than I needed to. If I just would have been a little bit more forthright, I suppose, but I don't know. It is what it is. It's just my style, my vibe. I'm a little too nice. I don't know. But here's the thing. I'm no longer nervous for these conversations. So what I've learned is that you need to get to a yes or a no. Both are good. Not a maybe. Maybe's bad. Yes or no? Can I help you? Can I not? Let's just get there. Okay, let's just not waste anybody's time. Life's too short for this crap. In the conversations, what I like to do is just ask questions. I ask questions, I listen to the client, find out what the problem actually is, not the, I need a nicer website. Website's not good. What's the actual problem? Which is big launches coming up. Lots of people are going to have their eyes on the website. This looks bad. I'm going to look bad. And all of this that I built up for the last however many years, it's coming to this moment, it's going to fail. And you go, oh, so you don't need a nice color scheme. You need to be saved. You need to be rescued. And a website is a part of that. And making sure it's proper, it's branded, it's consistent, it's fast, it's reliable, it's secure, all this stuff is in place. Got it. Okay, now I understand. I get to determine how urgent it is to solve it, determine if I can deliver, and if I can, I'll either make an offer, and if I can't, I'll swiftly direct them to either free content that I've created that's relevant, or I will send them to somebody that I think will serve them better. I do that all the time. So in this case, I was in the perfect position to help. I was excited to help, and I was confident that I was the right person for this gig to help. So I made an offer. I'll rebuild you a one-page site that does a better job than your entire current website before your urgent deadline for $10,000. That was my offer. Also, it has to be built in Editor X, is what I said. Or I can't deliver on the timeline. It's too tight. It's 7 days. Hard stop. Guaranteed. Plus, I was going on vacation the following day, which means I have no time to spare and I need to be able to do this fast. I've built enough in no-code builders and specifically in Editor X to know, yeah, I could definitely do that in that time. And that's generous. And so basically, I said, these are my expectations. These are my demands, I guess. This is what I need from you. Also, payment needs to be made up front. immediately upon signing the contract, which I will send right after our conversation. Capiche? Sound good? Yes or no? And it was yes. The offer was accepted. The deal signed, payments made, and I was positioned to execute immediately. And that was the final contributing factor to landing this gig. An honest, straightforward sales conversation with clear expectations right from the get-go, a solid offer with a tangible promise, and a price to execute. The answer in this case was yes, and it could have been no. I was fully anticipating a no, because most of the time it is no. In which case, all I do is just find out, okay, what are their objections? Why is it a no? And if they are just, we're not clear on something, or they don't understand the value, or I'm not communicating something clearly, which happens with me a lot, I'll deal with those things individually, come back to the question, does this sound good? Do you want to go forward now? And get us back on the same page. I'll solve the problem for you for this price. Sound good? Yes? Great. If we're not on the same page, okay, well, I'll point you in another direction. It's as simple as that. So also, contracts. They make everybody feel at ease. Don't skip on the contract. I fully had a contract. I paid for a contract out of pocket and filled everything in and made sure it was perfect so that I felt good, they felt good, everything was clear, scope was clear, price was clear, timeline was clear. Contract. Do the contract. Okay? So here's the reality now. This is the leading factor getting up to the project. Now the project is happening. Okay? I've got T-7 days until this needs to be completed. It's in the contract. I promised the client. Also, like I said, I'm going on a family holiday on the 8th day, so it's got to be done because I'm not even taking a laptop. Probably not the advice I would give to a rookie designer to do that. It's kind of a little bit sketch, but I work well under intense pressure. That, or I'm reckless. No, pressure's good for me anyway. So I'm hunting down website copy from social media profiles, old websites, archived this, that, posts. Like I'm doing all of it. All within a few days. Okay? Keep in mind. I also had, like I said, out-of-pocket design expenses like contracts and licensing creative assets for the website. And what's important to understand here is that this part of any web design project is always messier than you can plan for. So this was a one-page website project. That was the deal that was signed and sealed, and delivery was happening. Like, this is a simple project. And like, it was still intense and urgent and like, there's a lot happening. It's hard to plan for that. But at the end of the day, well, 7 days, or as a matter of fact, it actually only took me about 4 days. I had extra time to implement client feedback. And ultimately, get this, because of that, I just built out the rest of the site for them. So not only did I complete a one-page website in Editor X earlier than promised, I had extra time in abundance to tighten up any loose ends and over-deliver like sixfold and build out the entire rest of the website for them. Now, I didn't add all their blog posts and all their events and all these sorts of things. I just set up the infrastructure and everything's perfectly in place so that they could do that themselves. Now, talk about value for the client. They paid for a one-page website, and they got a lot more than that. Didn't need to do that, but that's what I did. On the final day of the project, I sent over training materials, video tutorial on how to work everything, how to log in, how to add content, blog posts, events, changing this, changing that, tweaking that. If you need to make slight design changes, please don't do this, lest you destroy the design, and that's expensive for you because you're gonna come back to me and like, don't mess with this, mess with this. I've made it easier for you to update the content in the CMS and do this and do this. It's all there. And any questions, any problems, if there's something that I made that's not working right, just like send me an email. Like, I'm here to help, and we'll check in a few weeks here just to see how things are going. Also, here's a little feedback form. Give me a little feedback on my service and to capture a quick testimonial from you. All in one wrap-up email. So here we are. Lessons learned. My pricing mantra, which I say to everybody, you've probably heard me say it a few times as well, is take what you think it's going to cost and double it. Not because you're being selfish or reckless or greedy is the word I'm looking for. No, because you are terrible at estimating how long it's going to take, how much stress it's going to be, how much extra you're going to work on this, and how much harder the whole thing's going to be, and how much value you're actually providing to the client. You've underestimated all of it. All of it. By measures of at least 2, probably more. Take what you think it's going to be and double it. And that couldn't have been more true, because I wanted to paint the reality of the project. You might think like, ooh, $10,000 one-page website in a no-code builder? Woo! If I had that, like I'd have an easy go of this whole professional design business thing. Nay, you would be sorely mistaken, because that's like 5 to 7 days was extra. Like it was intense. Like it was like, sorry, like family, like I'm out. Like I am not available. Hard stop, knock on the door, and try not to interrupt me because this has to get done. For all these reasons, I did this to myself. But I also promised the client that I would do it for them and I would do it well. I would bring the A game and I would do it better than anybody else could have done it. That's what I promised. You have to pay for it. You have to pay in full. You have to sign the contract, and you need to like step up. I need a lot from you. I need login credentials, assets, photos, headshots, any copy you can get, logins here, domains transferred, this. Like do it all, do it fast. No excuses. Because at the end of this, contract's done. If you don't do it, like I can't help you. So they moved, but like this was intense. This was no like walk in the park. One-page website, actually, by my own doing, I did this myself, turned into a full website. Replaced everything that they had before. The only reason I could do it that fast, this is another learning lesson, was because I used Editor X. Now, there's other platforms and tools you could use, and one might ask, well, could I have done this in WordPress or another custom code reliant solution, like templates? And sure, maybe. Not me. And I've built hundreds of WordPress websites, from just template, easy plug and play stuff, to like custom, like building everything from scratch, everything in between. I've worked on big projects with WordPress and tiny little projects with WordPress. And I don't think I could have done this in WordPress. If I had a longer timeline, probably, yeah. But it was my confidence in using Editor X where I went, I could no problem get this put together nice, professional, slick, fast, secure, all in one spot, CMS, blog, all of this stuff. I can get that done, and it's gonna look good. And the client was over the top, over the moon. Wow, you did what you said. I'm so happy, and it was a really, really, really good situation for the client. Couple other lessons learned. The $10,000 sounds like a lot for a simple project, but it wasn't simple. It was a lot. And it wasn't based on how many days or how many hours or how many pages or how many words. It wasn't based on any of that. It was based on you have a problem on your hands, a big one, right? And nobody's helping you. And anybody who's like kind of has an excuse of helping you, they're not very good at doing it, are they? And you're in a situation that is irreversible. And if this happens on this date and you're not ready, well, you will have missed an opportunity that really matters to you in your business. So that's where we're at, right? Yes. And that's bad. Yes. Can you live with that downside? No. Okay, here's the upside I propose. And this is what I can do for you. And here are my terms. Sound good? Yes. So that's not a lot. That's just what I required and what probably most in this stage of their design business require to allocate the resources, time, effort, value into that one condensed time frame to deliver an outcome. Another learning lesson: under promise, over deliver. Sounds cheesy, you hear it all the time. In practice, it works wonders. Under promise. That's exactly what I did. This is what you get. This is all you get. This is the timeline. After that, I'm hard out. In fact, I'm offline. So here's what needs to happen. And here's what you get for this much. Like, huge under promise. But the under promise, here's the thing. It wasn't not satisfying their needs. It was fully satisfying their needs and attaining the outcome that we determined was valuable. But I just went above and beyond that. I was like, you know what? Like, here, I did it all for you. So like, wow, they're happy. Under promise, over deliver. And this is why this pricing at this range for what seems so simple is so important. I've endured this level of urgency and stress before for far less than 10,000. We all have. Or you probably will at some point if you haven't yet. You're gonna go through that level of urgency spread out over 30 days. So even more difficulty and stress for like $2,500. And you're gonna soon realize that's not worth it. And that's not the way to do business. So could anyone have landed this gig? Am I special and have advantages over others? Yes, I have certain advantages, but that's just from experience and from like doing this a lot. But anyone could have landed this gig if they would have done the contributing factors that I outlined earlier, had the systems in place, talk to the person, talk to them, understand the problem, offer the solution, and then do what they promised. That's all it is. That's the anatomy of a $10,000 one-page website project. And this isn't one time. I haven't done this one time and it's just like a lucky shot. I've done this a lot of times. I just thought this is a relevant story and kind of interesting. Like the hook is interesting. Because I know when you tell anybody $10,000 one-page website, sounds like too good to be true. Like, well, no, like here's how it works and here's how you can do that too. In some form. Take the principles of what you learned from this and apply it. Now, part of this entire process is following everything you've learned in the last 3 videos. However, the other big part of this is knowing how to design beautiful websites that are responsive, engaging, and convert. The best way to do that is to use my favorite website builder, EditorX. No coding necessary, super easy to use, and very powerful. Click here to watch another series that I created on how to build a beautiful website from start to finish without code in EditorX. And I'll see you there.